Smoked rainbow trout fillets are a fantastic product to have in your pantry when you want to make a fancy style smoked rainbow trout rillettes. Now, rillettes in French is essentially like a pate that's combined with fat, or in this case, I'm going to use some cream cheese and some creme fraiche to bind it all together. It is so delicious, and my friends always request this when they come over. So in a bowl, we'll start with our cream cheese. You want to make sure your cream cheese is at room temperature. If it's too cold, it's really hard to bind. I like to use a whisk just to break it up and start to whip it so it's quite smooth. Now we can add some of our creme fraiche, and I'll add about a tablespoon. In that goes. This is going to give it a lovely richness, but also a slight tang. We'll combine those two together. Some French shallot that's been finely chopped. Some parsley, again, that's been finely chopped. And I will add some fennel fronds. Now, you could use dill, but I love these fennel fronds and I hate wasting them, particularly if you're going to use the bulbs as a crudité, so you can dip this into our lovely rillette. So I'll just grab a knife and I'm going to finely chop these. And other herbs you could add to this is some chives, even some mint works nicely, just as long as everything's super finely chopped so it's quite refined. These fennel tops have a really nice aniseed flavour that is quite suitable to go with any type of fish, but particularly smoked trout works quite nicely with it. Okay, we'll pop that in with the parsley. And an interesting but really delicious ingredient that I'll add is some peppercorns. These are pink peppercorns that are in brine, and if you can't find the pink ones, you could also use green peppercorns. I like to use the ones that are in brine because they're milder and sweeter in flavour, so you want that subtle flavour with the fish. So I'll add about a teaspoon that's been finely chopped. And our smoked trout fillets, so I'm just going to take them out of the oil and we'll pop it straight into our lovely cream cheese mixture. And it's okay if a little of the oil goes in there. So I'm going to be using 2 cans for this recipe. Second one. Now, the one thing we haven't added is some acidity, and I like to use the zest and juice of 1 lemon. So the zest of 1 lemon and the juice of half, we'll taste it and we'll correct it, see if it needs any more. And some juice. Okay, a small pinch of salt, not too much. And then we'll use this spatula just to break up everything and fold it together. And naturally, the smoked trout is going to crumble up, and that's what we want. We don't want it to be too smooth, so don't do this in a blender, but just gently fold it in and squish it together. And just by doing that, you'll see the rillettes start to form. Look at that. Okay, this is the consistency that we're after. See how it's spreadable? That's just right. So on my plate here, we have the fennel and some croutons, and I've just got some celery, but you can go all out. You can add some baby carrots, some radish, whatever you like. And we'll pop this into a generous bowl, so nice and large, so we can spread that to the sides. And I'm lucky enough to have some salmon roe here. This is just to make it look extra special. A big spoonful of that in the centre. That little extra pop of saltiness from the salmon roe makes it extra decadent. To tie it together, maybe some freshly cracked pepper. And that is a wonderful starter. Little champagne, maybe some rosé. You know what, you can buy this at delis and it costs a fortune, but why would you? Make it at home and it's going to taste even better.